On November 20th, 2023, one of the biggest pop stars on the planet walked into a courtroom in Barcelona. Prosecutors wanted to send her to prison for more than 8 years. More than 100 witnesses were ready to testify. Her hairdresser, her personal trainer, even staff from the clinic where she was pregnant. The trial lasted 8 minutes. This is the story of how Spain built a case against Shakira using gym visits and salon receipts, why she paid millions to make it stop, and the twist that came years later when a court said the taxman had gone too far. Stay with me, because this case is really about one simple question that affects every rich person on Earth. Where do you actually live? Our story starts with a song. In 2010, Shakira performed Waka Waka, the official anthem of the World Cup in South Africa. Spain won that tournament, and one of Spain's defenders was a tall guy from Barcelona named Gerard Pique. The two started dating, and in 2011, their relationship became public. Now, here is where taxes enter a love story. Because when Shakira fell for Pique, she started spending a lot of time in one very specific place: Barcelona. But on paper, Shakira did not live in Spain. Officially, her home was the Bahamas, a sunny island nation with one very attractive feature: it charges no income tax. Spain, on the other hand, taxes high earners at some of the highest rates in Europe. For someone earning tens of millions a year, the difference is worth a fortune. Shakira only made Spain her official tax home in 2015, around the time her second son was born and her kids were in school in Barcelona. And that gap between 2011 and 2015 is where this entire case lives. Time for a 60-second explainer. This is the rule the whole case hangs on. In Spain, and in many countries, there is a magic number: 183. If you spend more than 183 days in the country in 1 year, that is more than half the year, then legally you live there. And if you live there, you pay tax there, on everything you earn worldwide. Concert tours in Japan, album sales in America, all of it. It does not matter what your passport says. It does not matter what address is on your documents. What matters is where your feet actually are. Shakira's team said she was a global nomad in those years. World tours, filming The Voice in the United States. Her lawyers claim she spent fewer than 60 days a year in Spain. The Spanish tax agency looked at the pop star with the Barcelona boyfriend, the Barcelona house, and the kids in a Barcelona school and said, "Prove it." Actually, no. They did something better. They proved the opposite. This is my favorite part of the case, because it shows how a modern tax investigation actually works. Investigators did not need secret bank documents. They needed a calendar. So they built one, day by day. They followed the places Shakira went: her hairdresser, her personal trainer, the school where she was regularly seen dropping off her kids. They interviewed neighbors. They checked credit card receipts. They even looked at the health clinic she attended during her pregnancy. And here is the modern twist. They used her own Instagram. Every post, every photo with a recognizable Barcelona background became a data point. A Spanish newspaper later published a reconstruction of her schedule based on the investigation. The conclusion? More than 200 days per year in Spain. In 2012, in 2013, and in 2014. Remember the magic number? 183. According to investigators, she blew past it 3 years in a row. There was another layer. Shakira's name had appeared in the Paradise Papers, the huge leak of offshore financial documents. Reporting showed that back in 2009, her music rights had been moved to a company in Malta. Prosecutors argued she used a network of companies in low-tax countries with the intention of not paying tax in Spain. In 2018, Spain charged her. The bill? 14.5 million euros in unpaid taxes for 2012 to 2014. And Shakira said no. "I do not owe you. See you in court." For 5 years, she fought. In 2021, the investigating judge wrote that there was sufficient evidence of criminality to go to trial. In July 2022, prosecutors offered her a deal to settle quietly. She rejected it, saying she believed in her innocence. So prosecutors raised the stakes. They announced they would seek 8 years and 2 months in prison, plus a fine of around 24 million euros. November 20th, 2023, trial day. The prosecution had lined up 117 witnesses, including the beauticians and the driver. The world's media camped outside the Barcelona courthouse. And then Shakira walked in and took the deal. She said one word to the judge: yes, confirming she accepted 6 counts of failing to pay 14.5 million euros in taxes. In exchange, a 3-year suspended sentence, meaning no prison, and a fine of about 7.3 million euros, plus an extra payment of roughly 430,000 euros to formally waive the prison sentence. 8 minutes. Done. Why fold on day one after fighting for 5 years? In her own words, she said winning for her was getting her time back for her kids and her career. She had 2 young sons, a world tour coming, a new album. A trial would have dragged her private life through court for weeks. But she never stopped being angry about it. She later accused Spanish authorities of being more interested in publicly burning her at the stake than in listening to her reasons. And here is the thing. Years later, a court would partly prove her point, because the 2012 to 2014 case was never the only one. Spain had also gone after her 2018 income, claiming she dodged another 6.7 million euros through an offshore company. That case collapsed in May 2024. Prosecutors themselves admitted there was insufficient evidence, and the court shelved it. And then there was the year 2011, the very first year of her life with Pique. The tax agency had claimed she was already a Spanish resident back then and collected tens of millions from her. In May 2026, Spain's High Court ruled on that year, and Shakira won. The court found she had spent 163 days in Spain in 2011, 20 days short of the magic 183. The judges also said the tax agency failed to prove her economic life was centered in Spain, and that dating Pique was not legally the same as being married to a Spanish resident. The result? Spain was ordered to pay Shakira back, around 60 million euros, including interest. The tax agencies said it would appeal, so the fight is not fully over. But the woman who was almost sent to prison walked away in this round, with a court saying the taxman got it wrong. So what does this story really teach us? First, for tax authorities, your life is the evidence, not your paperwork, your gym, your kid's school, your Instagram. If your documents say Bahamas, but your hairdresser is in Barcelona, the documents lose. Second, Spain was not picking on one pop star. It ran the same playbook against Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, and both were convicted of tax offenses. Celebrities are the warning shot aimed at everyone else. And third, this case cuts both ways. Shakira paid millions and admitted 6 counts for 2012 to 2014. But for 2011, a court says the state overreached and owes her a fortune back. 20 days on a calendar. That was the difference between guilty and refunded. Whenever, wherever, the taxman is counting your days. If you want more stories about how the rich and famous get cooked by their own books, the next episode is on screen right now. See you there.